morning. Happy Monday. Today is day one of the Bbb&E challenge. That is a challenge where both my husband and I are eating nothing but beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. This is a challenge that was created by Dr. Ken Berry, who talks about the proper human diet. It's like an elimination diet where we basically get rid of everything except for beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, put our body in ketosis, get rid of all of the addictions like coffee, like sweeteners, all of those things, and see what kind of results that we have at the end of the month. Now, last time I talked about this, I said that I was going to track and weigh myself and measure weekly, and I decided not to do that after all. I put away the scale. I weighed in this morning. I did my measurements this morning, and now we are hiding it for the rest of the month of May. So we will not have weekly weigh-ins. I'm going to give you an end of month, end of challenge review and give you those stats then. But I will share with you what we're going to be eating as we go along on this challenge. I'm not going to track. I'm not going to weigh my food out. I'm not going to put it in a carb manager app. I'm not going to measure anything out. I'm going by what Dr. Berry says, and he says to eat when you are hungry, stop when you are satiated or when you are feeling kind of a stuffed feeling. And it's to get myself back to these hunger cues again and realizing what those hunger cues are. So I'm a little nervous because your girl can eat, your girl can put away a lot of food. So I'm going to be intaking definitely more calories than usual. So we will see how my body adjusts to it. Who knows? I may be the one person who gains weight on the Bbb&E challenge. I don't know. But you know what I am going to do is I'm going to go for a walk because I normally avoid any kind of activities. So since I'm not having my coffee and I've got time to kill, since I'm not sipping and drinking my coffee while I watch my favorite shows, I'm going to go for a walk. So maybe that will offset some of the extra food that I'm going to be eating this month as my body gets acclimated to it, and then maybe it'll start to utilize it in a better way. So that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, thank you for coming along on this challenge, and stay tuned for Bbb&E meals as we go along. So I'm actually really excited that it's day one of the challenge because it's going to be a challenge for me 100% because of my dependency on my sweeteners and my dependency on coffee in the morning. So that is one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing, is taking out the sweeteners, the stevia, the coffee that I rely on, and just kind of keeping it simple on the seasonings in my food. Just gonna have the pink Himalayan salt or the REDMONDS real salt that I have, and that's it. Now, I tried it, I think, for like a week in the past. I think I tried it for a week. I can't remember, but I know for sure I never got rid of my sweeteners, and especially my electrolyte mix, like my flavored LMNT electrolyte mixes. I couldn't. I think I did like 1 or 2 days and I was miserable, and I went back to them and we never talked about it again. But this is why I think this will be a great challenge for me personally, because I do need to kind of get myself off of those things that I realized, my old habits, those habits that are not great habits, like drinking my bangs every day and, you know, having my coffee with stevia, you know, every day, every morning. So you can have coffee. I believe you are allowed 1 cup of coffee, and then you can make it with butter or with an egg yolk and do like a carnivore coffee. But I'm going to try to not do that, because normally even with my carnivore coffee, I like to add sweetener. And I'm going to try not to do that. There's no need, because I know I also rely on the coffee to keep me full longer. And I need to understand what hunger cues are again, and to eat until I'm satiated, and that's it. So this week is going to be a growing week, a learning week for me, and then hopefully I get into my groove and we see how the rest of the challenge works for me. So let me just show you what we picked up for this week. We knew between the two of us we wanted to eat about a pound of meat, or estimate about a pound of meat per person. So between the both of us, we would need at least 14 pounds of beef. So this is what we got. We've got a little over 3.5 pounds of these ribs, the boneless ribs. I liked all the marbling in it. We usually get the shorter ones, so I kind of like that they're these big ones. So I'm not sure how we're going to prepare them. We might prepare them, I don't know, in the oven or in the Instant Pot, or he might smoke them. We're not sure. We did pick up some skirt steak because I love me some beef fajitas. I normally do it with the fajita peppers and guacamole, but since we are keeping it simple this month, we're only going to have the skirt steak on its own. Caesar likes these bacon ends and pieces. It's, you know, tons of fat, and he cuts it, or he actually doesn't cut it up, he cooks it up that way and then cooks his meat in the bacon fat. So he likes the ends and pieces. I like the long strips, so I got the thick sliced bacon. We've got the brisket boneless chunks. These reminded me of the pork chunks that I bought and I love, and I put them in the air fryer. So I'm going to try and do the same thing with these chunks. Maybe not the same exact thing with all the seasonings that I did in the past, but I'm excited to see how they come out in the air fryer. These are about 2 pounds of meat in each package. This was 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds. We have never, ever tried to make pork belly, but I know that it is acceptable on this challenge. So we went ahead and picked up a pork belly and kind of research a little bit on how to make it. I didn't want to get the big tube of the 10 pound of meat, so I found this 80/20 package and I saw that it had a special discount, so I went ahead and grabbed it, and I'm going to probably divide them up into pounds. This is about 5 pounds here, so I'm going to weigh them out into pounds and put them in individual bags to make patties or meatballs or whatever it is that I want. And of course, my pasture raised eggs. I love these eggs. We have some still in the fridge, but the ones that we currently have, I'm going to go ahead and do hard-boiled eggs with those, so we can use this as over easy fried eggs. And of course, we end the grocery haul with our Kerrygold butter. And this is basically what we're going to be using to cook our meats in or eat with it. It's either going to be cooked in bacon grease or cooked in the butter. But this is it. This is our beef, bacon, butter, and eggs challenge for this week. This entire grocery haul that you see here. How many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These 10 items came out to $135, which when you think about what I normally buy for the groceries, comes out a lot more, because we're going up and down the aisles and getting a bunch of stuff that we don't really need, to be honest with you. The kids still have their food. We've got stuff in the freezer. They're not going to be doing the challenge with us. They may be interested in some of the meats that we make, but they're not really big red meat eaters. So we'll see how they take to us doing that this week. More than likely, Caesar and I will be eating these meals earlier in the day, like either breakfast or lunch, and then not eating dinner. You guys, I have to tell you, I don't remember the last time I came outside to go for a walk. I mean, I have been in this funk when it comes to exercise and hearing the importance of vitamin D and getting out into the sun. The weather is beautiful, so I'm coming out. I am going to do a little check-in and find out how the hunger cues are going. It is 9:45. I've not had any coffee. I've had some water, just regular plain water this morning. And I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. Caesar headed to the gym, so I'm going to go for a walk for about 30 minutes maybe. All right, I finished my walk. I did 30 minutes. Let's see how the rings look. Not bad. I've got my exercise ring closed. I think my move ring is halfway closed. We went grocery shopping today, so that's why I've got a little bit more steps than usual when I do a 30-minute walk. So I've got half my steps, a little over half my steps already done, and it's not even 10:30 in the morning. Nice way to kick off this month and this week. Good morning. It is 11 o'clock and it is time to sit down for the first meal of the day. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, first meal of the day could be the only meal. I'm not sure. We'll see how I am with hunger. But I made 3 eggs cooked in Kerrygold butter, and I air fried, I think these are called brisket cuts. And it reminded me of those pork chunks that I made in the air fryer. So we did the same thing. I made them in the air fryer and they look like they came out great. So there you go. Meal number 1 for this challenge is in the books. All right, doing a real quick checkup. It is 2:15 and I am like running out of gas. Like I'm falling asleep, and I know it's because A, I didn't have my coffee this morning, and B, this is about the time I normally have my Bang, my energy drink, and that's kind of how I've been keeping the energy going. So this is a new revelation of about this time, 2 o'clock, without any caffeine or sugar to like keep me going. I've got to come up with other ways to wake myself up and get through the rest of the afternoon. So just a little observation on my part for day 1 of the Bbb&E challenge. All right, see you soon. All right, it is 5:45. We have kickball today, and Nick has basketball practice today. So it is a busy evening. I am eating my second and last meal of the day, which is just 2 scrambled eggs in Kerrygold butter. And I just finished off this package of, it's really thin bacon, really thin bacon. And I think there are 7 strips here of the sugar-free bacon. And this is my last meal of today.